Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, your subcommittee had under consideration House Bill 868, and after listening to all the individuals, the subcommittee recommends a do pass for House Bill 868.
Thank you. Yes, I'd like to have a motion, please.
Motion to do pass.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. I'm going to discussion.
Oh, thank you. Within that, we decided that because of the fact that this passes, it will totally do away with the commission as it is now, including taking all the money that they have in their foundation, which was raised outside of the state because the state was not funding them. The gentleman will lose his job, even though it's not a paid job. So what some of us asked for is that if indeed he has been using the name as the Georgia State Games Commission in his publicity and PR, that we should do a resolution to allow that commission in name, not funding, not in the budget, but in name. He would be the designated sports commission for the state of Georgia to continue these competitions that are going on in the name of the state of Georgia for Georgia kids to participate against other states' kids, that it would be a sanctioned activity. So that resolution will have to be coming later on. But I would only support this with knowing that that's coming later on, because he's worked really hard to keep it together in bad times, and it doesn't seem like we're being at all supportive of his activity to try to do a public-private venture and keep it going and keep kids involved by stripping everything away.
Does that have to be a joint resolution?
Like House and Senate? I would think so. In fact, I think it has to be a bill instead of a resolution. I think it's going to have to be a bill that would have to go the whole way.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have gone to Legislative Council and laid out the facts before Legislative Council. They are looking at it. It's a very complicated situation. It's more so than we anticipated. Any monies that they are holding as of right now are considered state monies under the authority, even though it may have been raised through the foundation. So we are having to look at how we can deal with the authority by allowing them to start all over and give them the sanctioning of maybe say State Games Commission. Not sure about the term Georgia State Games Commission, but they are looking at that. As you know, Legislative Council is swamped right now with all kinds of local legislation, writing and bills and subcommittee things. So probably we won't know anything till late tomorrow or Monday.
Thank you. I have not heard or seen in any capacity the word authority. That has binding power. An authority I've not seen in the bill. So I don't know. I mean, all I see is commission. Section 2. Well,
Held by the authority.
and see, I guess I don't have it on this little piece of paper. So, okay. I see it now. Held by the authority, but we're sure that they are a functioning authority. Are we certain of that? We're not. I don't think so either. And I don't. I just.
Have all the members. So
They have no. They have
not know if they are.
no.
That was a question they asked me, and I could not answer because I'm not sure that they are a functioning authority at this particular time.
Correct. Because I think originally they were supposed to have either 12 or 14 members, and there are 4.
18.
There are 3.
18 members. 14 and 2 and 2.
And they no
18.
longer have but 2 members serving.
The lieutenant governor had appointed 2, I think, But they were waiting to see how this went.
Yeah.
That's what I
Well,
remember.
they had two in the queue, I think, but
Yes,
not
yes, ma'am.
they had not been appointed. So I think maybe the posture that we're looking at is voting on the bill that was presented to us, voting up or down, yes or no, on House Bill 868, LC 401011, voting up or down on that, and then in a separate measure, we will look at a resolution, and I agree it will probably have to be a joint resolution.
We'll have to take it off the table, too.
If we find out more, we can always present more information to the full committee. The full committee needs to hold it, they can hold it a little bit more longer, whatever else. If we find out more information, because what I'm hearing is that I think the guy answered the question, direct question, was he receiving any money from the state and or from the foundation, and he said no. But is that really true or not? I don't know.
I'm not sure we asked about the foundation. We said commission, but we never said foundation.
I know we also asked, somebody asked a question about expenses,
Mm-hmm.
and he also said no.
So,
From the state, and the words on that I remember pretty much was, are you taking any type of salary or any type of expenses? And he said, not from the state. I can't put words back, but
Yeah.
that's what I do remember.
I was left the impression he wasn't making any money from anybody.
Okay.
is there any more discussion? I mean, okay. Chairman Chokus.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As far as the commission is concerned, there are many commissions out there, and traditionally the Speaker has 2 appointees, the Lieutenant Governor has 2 appointees, and in this particular case, I think the Governor has either 12 or 14. Okay, the Governor hasn't appointed anyone to the commission in a number of years, nor has the Lieutenant Governor appointed anyone to the commission in a number of years. And this, the only one that's been appointed is Abbott Massey and Marshall Guest, and they serve at the leisure of the Speaker. I have looked at trying to reduce some of these commissions. To be perfectly frank with you, they operate only on the books. I mean, very few times do they have meetings. I'm on the Tobacco Overview Board, and I'm vice chairman of that committee, and we've never met. And I've been trying to get David. I think we talked yesterday to find out, who's on there, what do they do, how do they do it, and it's just it's just taking up space. And when I talked with Terry this morning, he said that the governor wanted to proceed with it. He said it was dealing with zero-based budgeting, and I'm hoping I'm not repeating what's already been said. I apologize for coming in late. But here he is. Here's the man with a plan. I was.
We were having a committee hearing.
Yeah, and you're up. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll relinquish the microphone and let Representative Rogers, the esteemed floor leader for His Excellency the Governor of the state of Georgia, present this massive bit of legislation that is going to affect the lives of every last man, woman, and child in the state of Georgia, as well as the entire United States.
You ready for the
No.
Representative, your father would be proud.
I'm sorry. We met because we got a room, and then we did not get in touch with you as quickly as we got in touch with all of our members who were eager to come and revisit this. And our question, and you may know the answer, the fact that it is a commission, is it an acting authority? Does it have funding from another source? Because obviously it's not been funded through the state. And what happens to the money that he has raised if it is a foundation? Do we know those?
Yes, ma'am. I think I addressed that yesterday. I don't have my notes with me, so bear with me. My understanding is that what happened was there was a commission. A put into it through the budget was going to the foundation to support it. However, there has been no money given to this organization since 2008 from the state, and until I think it was 2012, there was a one-time $25,000 cash infusion, but since then there's been no money. Now, the way this whole thing came about is because of the zero-based budgeting aspect. There has been no movement on this, and by law, the governor has to go through and look at different aspects and bring up things if they hit the zero-based budgeting criteria. And this is one of the things he put. The governor's position is this right here. He has no agenda in the thing. What he is saying is, because of the zero-based budgeting, and we are not funding this at all. It's up to the legislature to decide whether they want to continue to do this or not. And he just had me introduce the legislature to abolish the committee. He does not have an agenda in this thing. It's up to the legislature. I think the point that I made yesterday is sort of like the credit card at first. You know, you got the deal and everything, and then you carry the credit card in your wallet for maybe 10 years, and all of a sudden you kind of realize, you know, this could have an impact. I'm showing up, I know the credit card limit is $1,500 or this or that or whatever. But, you know, it comes in my decision to, heck with it, I'll get scared. I may use it again sometime, or, you know what, I'm going to take it off the books and get it funded.
Thank you. I think the risk, if there is an authority, that gives, am I right or am I wrong? But that gives bonding authority. If you have an authority, and that is a dangerous thing to have hanging out there.
They have yes, ma'am. I can't speak to that, but I do know that they have a foundation. That the foundation has been the driving force behind this whole thing. And like I said, the governor brought the thing because of the zero-based budget. His position is sort of, you know, this is a legislative matter, and it's up to them to do this. I mean, you know, my recommendation to this committee is whatever the pleasure of the committee is, and if it needs to be called out in rules or whatever. But, you know, basically this group has been on the books, but has not been funded. And I speak for my, let me just be very clear about this. I'm not speaking as the governor's school board right now. I'm speaking as the guy who's bringing the bill. And I'm speaking as for my political philosophy. I think we all talk about eliminating government and making government more streamlined and more efficient. I mean, I know from a personal standpoint that that's the way I try to run my business. Is if something is, I'm not funding it, I'm not doing it, whatever, then you know, I try to eliminate that. And that's where I am. And whatever the pleasure of the committee is, I'm good. And I most certainly will speak for the governor at this point, saying that whatever the pleasure of the committee is, I think.
Chairman Chokers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of questions, Terry, but one procedural question. Have we taken this bill off the table to discuss it?
It really wasn't tabled, it was just kind of postponed.
No, it was tabled. It was tabled. Well, then I move that we take this House Bill 868 LC 401011 off the table for discussion.
I'm sorry, I did not do that.
Chairman Chokers, I'm not going to go through my whole
Well, we're going to remember what you said. I believe we will remember it. Thank you for freshening us up.
And if I may continue, Terry, isn't it true that the governor gets several appointees? Do you remember how many it was?
I want to say, and I apologize because I was quite frankly walking across the lunch when Representative Vealing got in touch with me. I don't have those notes, but it was either 18 or 14 on this board. And I want to say that the speaker had 2 appointees, the lieutenant governor had 2 appointees, maybe it was 14 that belonged to the governor or something like that.
I think there were 18 total members.
And if I'm not mistaken, there hasn't been an appointment made with the exception, I don't think the governor has been in an appointment since.
Forever. Yeah.
Well, it was way before Governor Deal got here, and I think before Governor Perdue got here also.
So, and that, if I may follow up, this legislation will in no way, shape, form, or fashion affect the foundation because the foundation is a corporation, and we will not be, this is not subject to this legislation. So the governance of the foundation, the Georgia State Games Commission Foundation that exists, the 501c3, operates independently of the state of Georgia. This probably, in my opinion, the Georgia State Games Commission was simply a funding mechanism, because we can't give it to the foundation, but we can give it to the commission. And since we're not funding it, it stands to reason that if the foundation wants people on it from the speaker's office or the governor's office, so be it. Go ahead.
We can use.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Let me be completely fair about this, because the people who were here yesterday are not here today, and just say that yes, this 501c3 foundation that they have has run the thing the last however many years. There has been no funding coming from the state or whatever. They're concerned, and I'm going to be fair about this because they're not here to speak for themselves, but what I heard yesterday from them was that there may be some intangible benefits where they could coordinate with DOT or whatever. Administratively, they were assigned to DNR, but and I can't speak to the laws on whether you could still coordinate or whatever, but I'm certain that should they do this, that they'd be helped in any possible way that they could. But that would be the only thing about the foundation that I would say is that they expressed that concern yesterday. But once again,
It is the pleasure of the committee and whatever you guys decide. And you have to move it on to the rules committee and let them decide whatever.
I'm not sure the word. I think they've done a great job. I don't see, just in my own mind, why they couldn't continue to do the great job that they're doing. I think they already have made themselves known to people. I truly don't think that the tag Georgia is being that much of a benefit to them. I mean, I feel like they could just be the games. I think that we could come up with another terminology. That is just my opinion.
I don't think that there has been any type of move whatsoever to take that name away from them. George Games. I don't think that there's any type of.
So basically, what we need to do is to look to removing from the line.
Georgia Outfitters, the name Georgia.
Right. It's anybody's name. Okay. But it's not a designated name.
And we had talked about the possibility, where we'd be open to sitting down and talking with them to doing some sort of, maybe a proclamation from the House committing them or whatever, so that they could use that as a marketing tool.
Okay. And we're lit up here. Buckner?
I was just looking at the website, and all of the competition locally in Georgia feeds into a state game, and the winners of gold and bronze and silver medals from the Georgia State Games then are eligible to go to the State Games of America. So calling them the State Games might be in conflict with the national organization. Sorry. I just think that they are doing some good work, and we don't need to throw them away with the bathwater. We need to figure out how we can give them what they need to continue, and we don't have to fund them. We can take them out of the budget, but I think we've got to figure out a way to make them have a designation that works for them to be able to continue their good work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
Threats over there.
Wait.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to second the motion of Chairman Chokus. We take up the bill.
Oh, yes.
Procedurally, yeah.
Procedurally, yes. Okay.
In the expediency of time, Madam Chair,
I need to make the motion.
in the expediency of time, if you guys wanted to take a vote on that, You know, we've got a long time before day 30.
Right.
We could sit and talk and you know, and remember it always be offered. It doesn't have to be offered.
Let's do that. I think it would be appropriate to take the vote since everyone has come, and I know everyone has obligations, but we have taken it off the table. We have a motion to take it off the table. We have a second, and now all we need to do is vote on the taking it off. Mhm. So all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And we have had quite a bit of discussion. So now, sorry. Mm-hmm.
To comment on other authorities and so forth, since its creation, there's an Oconee Greenway Authority was established by the state some 8 years or 10 years ago. It's also attached to DNR. They've never asked the state for any funds, but it is, quote unquote, the Oconee Greenway Authority, local people involved and so forth. They raise money for the authority to clean up the river and all this kind of stuff. So it is also, I guess you could say, a zero-based budget thing. It never asks the state for any money, but it's still there on the books attached to DNR, Oconee Greenway Authority.
Yes.
May I respond to Representative Kidd's statement?
Yes.
The zero-based budgeting legislation that we passed several years ago takes a certain number of budgetary items and reviews it each year, and by statute we have to address it. So just the fact that it hasn't received any funding doesn't mean that that it won't be looked at by the zero-based budgeting process.
I understand. I just pointed out.
And I think that's an extremely important point to make, is that the governor, by law, is required to look at these things and to refer them to the legislature. That's basically what happened here along with this recommendation. And it then becomes a legislative letter. And, you know, I mean, as I said, we'll be happy to try to work to see if there is some way we can work out a name thing or this or that or whatever, or, you know, if they decide not to bring it out of rules. I think the thing is that this committee has done its job and vetted it thoroughly, and I appreciate you.
Thank you, and I really think that's our obligation is to move forward with this bill. But I know that Representative Donahue has a statement.
Thank you, Representative Rogers. What I wanted to ask was, we want to make sure that the money they do to the state. And I just want to make sure of that. We had discussion before you come here that could be a possibility. So, as you said, we can talk about this later. And
as I said, I'm speaking without notice, but based on everything I've seen, I think they've got about $40,000.
Yes, sir.
That's left in that account. And that account is in the foundation's name. The account is not in the commission's name. The account is in the foundation's name. Very specifically, yesterday, he said there were no assets whatsoever that needed to be returned to the state.
thank you.
Okay, Representative Elam.
Just a simple question. I know when I was on the school board and we had a meeting like this, we had to have a 24-hour notice. We didn't have to do that under this type of.
Thank you.
And
along the same line, I'm going to try to find this map and tell this meeting now. But, you know, and just let him know what's going on, and tell him that we're not getting more money. But I appreciate you guys fulfilling your obligation. Thank you so much.
Chairman Jokers.
Ma'am, I'd like to make two comments. Number one, who is the governance and who picks the members of the foundation? And that's the question, since it's a private foundation, what, and they raise the money and they spend the money, they sign the checks. My question is, what does the Georgia State Games Commission do? They don't raise money. It's not appropriated. The governance of the foundation it's a 501c3. It's a corporation. It has a board of directors that's not appointed by the state of Georgia. They select their own board of directors, and they act completely independent of the state of Georgia. So my question is, what purpose do we serve? To answer Representative Buckner's name about the names Georgia State Games Commission, there's a Georgia Pest Control in Americus, Georgia. You can name anything you want to with the state, but that's a fact. Anyway, with that being said, they can name the foundation the Georgia State Games Commission Foundation, and I don't know what the name is. And to further make the second point I'd like to make is that at the appropriate time, I'd like to move that this proceed forward. I also respect Representative Buckner's interest in doing a resolution of support for the good work that they do. And I'd like for us to look at doing that, and I think Chairman Green, Representative Buckner were talking about doing that. And then I'd also like to see that if the members of the committee so wish, once, if we were able to pass this out and let rules handle the legislative thing, I would be very happy to hear again from the foundation and have a hearing on what the commission actually does. And since it hasn't been, those positions haven't been filled in years, I'd like to know why they want it.
I think let's just have one more. Representative Buckner, if you'll go ahead and.
I was just going to say, I'm willing to make a motion to move this forward and vote for it, but if we do not find out how we can help them maintain the games, then when it comes to the floor, I may not be supportive.
I understand. Thank you so much. I think we vetted the.
No, I was just going to say, I also understand that there's not a problem with funding because Representative Donahue is going to write a check out of his campaign.
Excellent. That's a great idea. Okay. This committee has been, I think, wonderful to come, and we've had very good discussion, and we have a motion. Okay. And we've had a second, and may we all vote if we are in favor of House Bill 868. I would like a raising of the hands, please. Thank you all so very much. Thank you very much. And well, you can't come back.
Here, you know what to say. Please.